Hey guys, it's me, Pipogman. I'm back to talk about another X sneak peek week reveal. Today we had Kitty Pryde revealed, and Lockheed. Lockheed is a part of her kit. Really awesome to see Lockheed in this game. Essentially, back in the day, Shadowcat, her gimmick was she can go through walls. Cool gimmick. They do some fun things with it. Definitely in the old X-Men cartoons I used to watch as a kid from the 2000s, they definitely did some really cool stuff with Shadowcat. Now again, there are two old X-Men. There's the really old one from like the 80s, and then there's the one I watched from like the early 2000s. Both are good, but I watched both of them as a kid, but I really love the 2000s one, and they did some cool stuff with Shadowcat. She really kind of like an acrobatic character moving through walls. They really, now again, it doesn't necessarily make sense because she can move through walls. How does she appear in other areas? Like, how does she push off of the wall to go out the other side of the wall if she's facing through the wall? Doesn't quite make sense, but it's nice that they have Lockheed in her kit, because essentially, if I had to guess what the writers did back in the day, is this character who can go through walls, not that exciting of a kid. So they're like, let's give her a pet dragon so she's more interesting. So now you see Lockheed with a lot of Kitty Pryde in media, and it's nice to see in Marvel Strike Force they were also giving Kitty Pryde Lockheed, which he is a part of her kit. Before we talk about her, let's talk about the team as a whole. The Red Guardian and Yelena are not going to be coming. I'd sort of predicted this. Some people were kind of down on it a little bit, but I was pretty confident that Red Guardian and Yelena were not going to come this patch, and it appears that my prediction did turn out correct. Luckily, I was right this time. I was not right on my film analysis final though, so you know, pros and cons of life, give and take. But so Jubilee is gonna be announced tomorrow, and it sounds like there's gonna be an X-Men Legendary, and it's almost guaranteed that that's gonna be Nightcrawler. Now, I'm not seeing where they mentioned it in this blog, but I believe they mentioned untouchable, like teleporting or something like that. It's Nightcrawler, guys. It's Nightcrawler. He's the Legendary. It's not gonna be Gambit or Rogue. I'm pretty sure they're saving those guys for February, and they're gonna be, because they're a couple, they're very romantic in the comics, so they're saving them for Valentine's Day, I believe. And it's not gonna be an X Factor character. I believe they're filling out the X Factor team Marchish. That's the current rumor right now. But let's talk a little bit about her kit. She's a protector. We'll have to see how good she is. I don't know. I think a lot of her protector stuff will come when she's with this legendary character. So essentially right here, when the legendary character is present, Kitty Pryde will heal the most injured astonishing X-Men ally on enemy miss or astonishing X-Men dodge. So that'll add some more survivability to the team. Kitty Pryde on her own, I don't know. It's good. It's a clean kit. I like it, but I'm not sure this is going to be game breaking right here. For the passive, she'll attack the primary target plus clear 2 positive effects. Always nice. Clear positive effects. Special Lockheed Blast. Attack all enemies for 208% damage. Apply offense down for 2 turns to all enemies that are not taunting. And if somebody is taunting, flip it to defense down. So essentially, she'll apply offense down to everyone who's sort of an attacker, but the one guy who's defending the team will suddenly be weaker in his defenses. And since theoretically he's a tank, you wouldn't need to lower his offenses anyways, because the damage output is probably not that high from the tank. So really good stuff right there. And if any enemy had taunt, fill this character's speed bar by 30%. So pretty good stuff right there. Ultimate Mischievous Sprite. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 320% damage plus apply disrupted. Really good. Now, apply disrupted, does that mean to primary and do they all get disrupted or just the primary target? We'll have to see. Hopefully it's to all of them, but regardless, any way of applying disrupted is great. If the target is tech, apply disrupted for 2 turns instead. Not really sure why they have this here. Maybe Sentinels are tech. They're not in the game right now, but please, big boss raid. You know, we're fighting a giant Sentinel. Tech, come on guys, come on, Sentinel. That's the only reason why I could think they have if target is tech. Black Bolt has it in his kit. I believe Black Bolt has villain tech sort of countered. Now that's sort of for Ultron, but in all reality, Maximus, Black Bolt's brother, who is the enemy of the nemesis of Black Bolt, he works with a lot of tech. So presumably, if he were to come to the game one day, he would be a villain tech character, and Black Bolt would counter him. But technically, in the game right now, it works for Ultron, but it also works for Maximus. I assume this is probably for Sentinels coming to the game eventually. Not really, because Ultron. So this attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. Then here's the passive, 30% dodge chance. That's nice. When this character drops below 50% max health, gain stealth for 2 turns. This is a little, I'm not a huge fan of when tanks step out of the battle, because their job is to die regardless. Like, if you're close to dying, good, keep doing it, because you're supposed to protect the defense. Stature kind of does this too, where she passes it off to Ant-Man. Well, they phrased it poorly. Really should be Ant-Man takes over for Stature because he's her dad. But regardless, Ant-Man can dodge, so it kind of makes sense, and I believe the team gets some benefits if somebody dodges, so they kind of want Ant-Man to take over and dodge for a bit. But really, I'm not a big fan when the tanks stop tanking, because that's really, I don't know, that's why they're there. The problem I'm also seeing is she has no way to apply taunt to herself. But, you know, she's kind of like Domino, where she applies a lot of survivability to the team, where on raids, apply defense up to the 2 most injured Astonishing X-Men allies, and then on enemy turn, she'll apply evade to the most injured Astonishing X-Men allies. So it's kind of like Domino right there, but instead of Domino making you lucky so you can dodge, it's more she's making you move through the bullets or stuff like that. So, you know, kind of interesting right there, and plus she'll get some healing with Nightcrawler. It appears she's more a counter to tanks rather than that good of a tank herself. But let's take a look at her abilities right here. So as we can see, they still have the kind of weird sound effects here. I'll turn it down a little bit for you guys, that way it doesn't blast your ears out. As you can see, good stuff. Doesn't really make sense. Kitty Pryde's skills don't really make sense, physically speaking. Like, if she's going through the wall, what's she pushing off of to come back out underneath the ground like this? Like, how is she doing that? But, you know, she always does on the comics, so we'll just roll with it. Good animations though, really fun stuff. You know, this is Shadowcat. This is what she does. So really cool stuff. I'm excited to see the team. I think they're just going to look really nice together. I love the X-Men. It's always great to see them in video games. I love seeing the X-Men. So, and this is going to be a pretty cool team of X-Men. We're going to have Iceman, Kitty Pryde, Jubilee, Nightcrawler, and Beast. This is kind of one of the more, this is a lot of the really creative X-Men on one team together. So this is kind of awesome. Now, the only problem is Nightcrawler's probably being legendary. I assume he's going to use Pimp Tech to unlock. What are you going to do before you get Nightcrawler? I'd say put Storm on the team. Storm is a good raid character. Again, I don't think you're really going to be using these team for raids because you're probably using symbiotes anyways. But if you needed one more character for the raid team, I'd put Storm. This is concerning for the original X-Men team, because if there was any character I would have moved from that team to a raid team between Storm, Beast, or Colossus, I would have moved Storm, because Storm actually has raid gimmicks. And she has parts of her kit, like her kit's kind of garbage, but at least it was only half garbage when Beast was on the team. Now she's back to being garbage. I think Storm really needs a rework. You know, I like the idea that she builds up charges and then unleashes them, but they need to make it so if you're not in raids or just in general, she needs to get like 5 charges a turn, or they just need to, essentially she's supposed to get like 20 charges or something and then unleash them. It should be like 5 charges. Like, take all those boosts you get for 20 charges and just condense them into like 5 charges. I think that's the big thing Storm really needs. Really unrealistic, the situations they're supposing Storm would get into right here, especially if they're not putting her onto the raid X-Men team. That's the big concern. I don't think Storm's going to be first up for rework though, because she's on a team with Phoenix, and Phoenix is so good, especially now that Colossus is a set member of that team. That's going to be a pretty bonkers team anyways, so I guess it's okay if Storm's a little subpar, but a little disappointing that the one character on that team was kind of built for raids. They're sort of like not putting her on the raid team, so, but hopefully there's still a chance for them to rework Storm, but only time will tell. But all in all, let me know what you guys think about Shadowcat down below. Really big fan of her. And at the end of the day, what do I know? Because I am only a 19-year-old. I hope everybody can have a happy and healthy day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Sign off, everyone.